losses on the year, and probably literally the two worst losses of the season. The only one that may be worse is, remember when Ja had his injury and everybody was terrified and he went on to miss like 10 games?
Mm-hmm. And the Grizzlies still were pretty good.
Yes.
Even with him being out.
Yes. But the game that he got hurt against the Hawks, I mean, they got absolutely embarrassed. And I think at that time they were like 8-9 when they lost that game, and Ja's hurt, and I want to say the Hawks won by around 20. So that may have been the worst loss of the season at the time because you didn't know what was going to happen to Ja. But yeah, they were absolutely embarrassed by the Heat when I went back Halloween weekend. And then last night, Ja sucked. Jaren sucked. They couldn't make anything. And nice. Houston could not miss. And Houston is one of the worst teams in the league. But I tell you right now, that Jalen Green kid, he's going to be a superstar.
Oh,
he is an absolute stud. I mean, he is elite offensively, and when he gets a little experience to his game, man, he's already a problem. He's gonna be a consistent problem as he gets older. And Kevin Porter Jr., he's a stud too. He just can't stay out of trouble. They've got Christian Wood. He was busting on our head last night. So I don't know, Swain. Maybe I am bad luck, but I got to hang out with our boy Eve Pons. He didn't know we were hanging out, but we were hanging out. He was actually dressed out last night for the first time in several weeks. He's been dealing with an ankle injury that's been bugging him all throughout this year. He's come back from it, and then when he does come back and play for the Hustle, the G League team, he aggravated it again. So it was good to see Eve on the end of an NBA bench and collecting a paycheck and actually dressed out last night.
Mm-hmm. You know what else is good to see?
The Vols winning.
A Tennessee 3. Man, that was good to see.
You know what else is good to see?
What's that?
Not having to sit through any media timeouts at Thompson-Boling Arena this year.
Why is that?
So we don't have to listen to the DJ.
Well, this game you didn't have to do that.
I know. I was laughing though because Rob Lewis is as snarky as they come and can fire off some real petty tweets. And he typically saves them for Kentucky or Memphis or somebody like that. But he was firing off the snarky tweets this weekend. And I thought it was funny because for the longest, I thought I was the only one annoyed by the in-arena DJ. And now it seems to be growing. The list of annoyance seems to be growing, and I was laughing at Rob's tweets as I was following along, and as he was saying that, don't worry, Vol fans, this is the last time we have to sit through a media timeout. And TBA this year, we can make it. We'll get through it together.
Give me a V.
Yeah, huh?
Give me an O.
Oh yeah.
Give me an L.
Yeah.
Give me an S.
Yeet.
All right, we got to do it 5 more times. That ain't loud enough.
Not loud enough.
Not loud
one
enough.
Person in section 221, row 17, seat 5 is not standing up. We got to do it again.
Hey, man. Maybe it says something that he has to be there to get the crowd to get pumped up and get loud.
Hey, look, Tennessee went 16-0 at home this year. Maybe he was the reason why.
Maybe. I'll tell you another person that was annoying. By the way, I'm a big fan of DJ AWOL, so I do not share the same opinions of Rob Lewis
turn the mic down.
And Ben McKee.
That's all I ask. Turn the mic down.
But somebody else who really is annoying is number 10, Jalen Williams. Arkansas's supposed to be alleged big man, even though he plays the game like a guard when he's defending the ball in the paint. But, hey, taking charges is a part of the game. It's good defense if you're there, if you're set, if you get a possession for your team. But if you're moving like Jalen Williams does most of the time, and, Ben, we talked about this last week, that Tennessee was going to get those calls. Like, Jalen Williams was not going to get those charging calls the same way he did when Arkansas played at home. There was no way because You know the coaches around the league, especially Rick Barnes, sent in tape, was pointing to the movement of the feet, sliding under players as they were leaving their feet to go up for layups. Jalen Williams came in, slid in, and clear blocks that was called charges in the first meeting. And I don't think he got one charge call, Ben.
No, he didn't. In fact, he got called for 2 fouls instead, and they were both the correct call.
Correct.
Because, like at Arkansas, he was still moving when he supposedly tried to draw the charge.
Tennessee men's team get the dub. Lady Vols fell to a red-hot Kentucky team there in the SEC tournament. That Kentucky team went on to win the entire tournament and beat
Crazy
South Carolina on a last, I won't say last second, but game-winning three-point shot with about 4 or 5 seconds left. Kentucky wins the SEC tournament. Tennessee baseball, like you predicted, Ben, and said that it would be a good weekend, went 2-1. 2-1 on the series or the weekend down there in Houston, losing to Texas in the first game, winning against Baylor, and then shutting out and beating the brakes off of Oklahoma.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I predicted Tennessee baseball going 2-1.
You did.
I predicted the men's team to beat Arkansas.
You did.
And I predicted the Lady Vols to win on Friday and lose on Saturday.
You did. Did you put any money on it?
Something. No, people like to point out when I'm wrong, so I'm going to take it upon me to point out when I'm right.
That's right, man. That's right. Pull out them dubs, Ben. Pull out them dubs.
Yeah, but
you predict Grizzlies win?
No.
Okay.
But my wife does blame me. She says that I jinxed them, although I don't feel like I did because she was asking me about the Rockets and if they were any good, and I said, well, they should beat them by several points. And she said, well, you just jinxed it. And I responded, well, I said they should, not that they will. So I feel like there's a difference between saying that they will and they should. Don't you think?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I mean, this
is also coming from the same person who I look, Swain, when I go to baseball stadiums, I like to get me a helmet full of ice cream. And the wife went to the concourse while I was working out. I came down and sat with her, and while I was watching the game, she wanted to go get her a pretzel. So I said, hey, will you get me a helmet full of ice cream? She said, yeah, I'll get you one. What flavor do you want? I said chocolate. So she comes back, gives me my ice cream. Look, you sit there and hush. Don't talk about my chocolate ice cream. It was delicious. Well, kind of delicious. But I'm eating my ice cream, and Tennessee does something. So I needed to get back on my computer and type something out.
Okay.
And I said, can you hold this? She says, yes. So she's holding my ice cream in her left hand, and she's got her cup that she is spitting sunflower seeds in her right hand.
Wow, I see where this is going.
And I'm typing on my computer, and next thing I know, she goes, and I could see the corner of my eye that this woman, just spit a sunflower seed into my ice cream. I'm like, and I looked at her like she was crazy. I said, you did not just spit your sunflower seed into my chocolate ice cream and my batting helmet. And sure enough, she had spit 2 seeds out into my helmet full of ice cream. Like, this is what I'm dealing with on a daily basis.
I think you're being a little dramatic here, Ben.
No, I'm being serious.
I think you're being.
She's over here rolling, laughing right now, crying, laughing.
I think
she knows that it happened. And then it was the salty sunflower seeds too. So she's over there. Not only did she spit into my ice cream, she's having to dig the seeds out with her little fingers in my ice cream. And of course, I still ate it because I'm a pig like that. But it did have a little salty sunflower seed taste to it.
Well, I mean, I think you're being a little dramatic. Here's the reason why.
How am I being dramatic?
Number one, there's people listening going, wow, man, Ben's wife is eating the sunflower seeds at the baseball game. What a keeper. Wow. She's ride or die. That's what people are saying right now. who listen to your story. That's the first point. Second point, Ben, you've been married a couple years. Little sunflower seed. It's not a big deal. It's not like she hawked a loogie or something. You're making it seem like she hawked a big loogie. It's just 2 sunflower seeds. Second point. Third point, y'all got a kid on the way. I mean, it's okay. And she's pregnant. She has pregnancy brain. She gets a pass. It's your fault, Ben. It's your fault. You should have not given her your cup of ice cream to hold it. You should be more responsible. It's not her fault. It's your fault.
That's exactly what she said, is that she was watching the game and she forgot what she was doing. But I do agree with you on all 3 points. I'm very proud of her because this was the first weekend that she learned how to properly eat sunflower seeds, where she could have sunflower seeds in one side of the cheek and then kind of maneuver the seed out of the seed and spit it into a cup. And she was very proud of herself for reaching that accomplishment. So that is a good point. To your second point, you're right. It wasn't a loogie, but still, she spit a sunflower seed into my beautiful chocolate ice cream. And I still did eat it. You're right. It's whatever. And I do feel like it is preparing me to have a kid, because I feel like just watching other people have kids, these are the type of things that happen all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about this yesterday. Like everyone that I know is having boys around me now. So like Rucker has a son. You have a son on the way. My brother had his gender reveal over the weekend, and he's having a boy. So I'm gonna have a little nephew. Everyone's having boys around me, so I'm gonna live through my nephew. He gonna be something else. That's for sure. Cause he gonna have 2 dads. He gonna have his dad, his real dad, and his uncle dad. So everyone's having boys around.
You will, and we can take baby Ben and we can strap him up to your chest as a white baby and send you through the grocery store like we have talked about here on the show, and then we could take your brother's son and do the same thing, and we have video of different reactions. Yep. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. Yeah, but it might go viral. My wife does blame me for jinxing the Grizzlies last night, but at least I hit on all the Vols this weekend. That's more important, because 2 out of the 3 were really successful. At least the Lady Vols did not lose to Alabama on Friday night. That would have made things worse. But overall, a good weekend for Tennessee. I would argue actually a great weekend because Tennessee did win 2 out of 3 here in Texas. The men's team beat a top 15 Arkansas team, although it did look ugly in the second half, and it seemed to be a really productive recruiting weekend as well. Yep, you're right. Lots to get to today. I mean, it was packed full of action. Baseball, basketball, women's, men, Tennessee football. What do I got to do to get me one of those G-Wagons? What we got to do, Ben? Get one of those G-Wagons. Be a 5-star quarterback? Yeah. We will take our first break of the day. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Ben McKee is in Houston, Texas. H-Town, baby. Home of DJ Screw. But we're not screwed up here on the Swain Event. We are just getting started. Hour number 1 is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. We will take our first break of the day. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
If you want to be part of the show, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503.
Hello?
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, subscribe to the Swain Event channel on YouTube.
Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here on a beautiful Monday. Well, I'm in God's country. Ben is working there. He's working on it. He's working on it. He'll be in God's country a little bit later. He'll be blessed. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Hope you are having a great morning. A lot of positivity on the hill, man. A lot of positivity. Tennessee football recruiting. Number one player on the board. Nico Iamaleava was maybe still here, but here.
Leaving today.
I know he's coming Thursday to Monday, so leaving today, but got a chance to go to the game. And the chants were awesome. We want Nico chants. He said that was his favorite part of the weekend. As he talked to Austin Price of AllQuest.com, that was his favorite part of the weekend. He was busy. Knoxville Theater had a nice message for him and his family there on Gay Street. So he got a chance on Friday to hit downtown and hang out and go bowling with some teammates, and then you saw social media posts from him. He's recording some video for future project. Tennessee showing him that his brand can be put on display if he comes to a place like Tennessee. And Tennessee, yes, they have the Tennessee Titans, but there's nothing like being a Tennessee football player at the University of Tennessee and all the recognition and all the exposure that you get. Nico was shown what it's like to be on Rocky Top and being the quarterback. You are bigger than the governor. if you are the quarterback here at the University of Tennessee. So looks like Nico had a nice visit, Ben. And if I'm Tennessee, if I'm a Tennessee fan, I would feel pretty good about where Tennessee is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't mean that Tennessee is going to land Nico Iamaleava. Take that. How you like that, Swain?
That's pretty good, man.
Like that pronunciation.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Watch out. I got it down pat. Just like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Once I got it good.
What about Uros?
Uros Plavshik.
There you go.
I said it with the accent and everything, too.
There you go.
Take that for data. But, yes, a terrific weekend for Nico Iamaleava this weekend on campus. Does not mean that Tennessee is going to land him, but I do think that Tennessee is firmly in the mix and going to be one of the 2 or 3 teams that he strongly considers. I don't know how he will announce a decision, but if it insists or consists of hats on a table and he picks up a hat like the typical signing day fiesta, then Tennessee's going to have a hat on the table, and I think it'll be one of the final 2 or 3 hats. I'm real curious to see, as you and I have talked about kind of off air the last couple of weeks, the Alabama situation, particularly as they are tied in with Arch Manning. If Arch does not choose to go to Alabama, what does that mean for Nico? Because I would imagine that they try to turn up the heat on Nico, and I don't believe it's Georgia he has not been to just yet. I think he has been to Alabama once. But Alabama's not turning up the heat just yet like Tennessee and Oregon is. Tennessee and Oregon is doing everything it possibly can to land Nico, and Alabama has not yet reached that point because they are trying to get Arch Manning. So I'll be curious to see what happens with Alabama. I think that they would be that 3rd team. Maybe Georgia would be that 3rd team. I think Georgia would maybe be the 4th, but it seems like it's a Tennessee-Oregon battle right now. And look, Tennessee's got a shot at it. If they lose out on Nico, it's going to be hard to fault them just because they have tried everything in the book to get him. They have done everything they can, it appears. They have left no stone unturned, it appears. Now you just need, I think, Swain, to have a little luck on your side and hope that he really enjoyed everything that you showed this weekend and that he ultimately picks Tennessee. Yeah, I think now it's just kind of luck and good fortune setting in.
Full court press, man. That's what we have seen from Tennessee on Nico. And, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and the message boards went crazy for some reason when I said it's going to be all hands on deck. All hands on deck. And what that meant was it wasn't just going to be Tennessee's coaching staff. It wasn't going to be just Tennessee's players recruiting Nico. Everyone's going to be involved. And you saw that when he came on campus and the rock is painted. You saw that when he hit Knoxville and there's a message, downtown Knoxville. On Gay Street. You saw his social media post where, he is recording, sitting in a chair with a bunch of lights, and he's recording some video content for, the near future. That ain't just the coaches putting in work. And Austin Price reported this couple weeks ago that if Nico comes to this part of the country to play football, then family will be making the trip as well. So if I'm the family while I'm here in Knoxville, I would probably be looking for a place to stay. If Tennessee is a place for you, maybe they could be neighbors with Zakai Ziegler.
Yeah, they can be neighbors with Miss Ziegler.
Yeah,
and Austin shared that as well. Whatever day he decided to answer the phone last week and join us, but also added that they would at least be close. Maybe not in Knoxville, but in the surrounding area. Certainly Knoxville is a possibility, but in the surrounding area or much closer than California. So For instance, the Tagovailoas or Tungavailoas, they were in Birmingham, which, I mean, it's kind of part of Tuscaloosa, just a simple 45-minute drive east if you're coming to Birmingham from Tuscaloosa, but maybe not necessarily in Knoxville, but the surrounding areas is possible. But hey, that's even still, that's a big thing. I mean, you want to kind of learn the lay of the land, and you would also be living there along with Nico, so you want to make sure that the whole family is comfortable as well. And mom and dad, it seemed like they enjoyed the visit.
Yeah, there's players you do this for, and a franchise quarterback is one of those players. Like, you hear the saying all the time from coaches that you want to treat people fair, you want to treat your players fairly, but you don't always treat your players the same. Growing up, playing sports, you were told, everyone's going to be treated the same. Everyone's going to be treated the same. No, doesn't work that way. Not in real life. You treat your players fairly, but you don't treat them the same. And the same goes for recruiting. In this case, Nico Iamaleava, you got to go all out, because we have seen LSU, we have seen Alabama, we have seen Clemson, we have seen Ohio State, Oregon, what you can do with a great quarterback. We've seen that just recently as a Tennessee fan with Josh Dobbs. How special a quarterback can be and cover up so many things wrong inside of your program, so many holes maybe with your roster. But it starts with the quarterback. And Tennessee understands that, and that's why we are putting the full court press on Nico the way we are. All hands on deck. How about the student section?
Yes, that was really cool. He is a program changer, an absolute program changer. He can be Tennessee's Deshaun Watson. He really can. I know that kind of sounds absurd because of the last decade and some change that Tennessee has experienced. But Nico Iamaleava can truly be Tennessee's Deshaun Watson that got Clemson over the hump. Taj Boyd allowed Clemson to build that foundation to where it could be a championship program. And Hendon Hooker can be Tennessee's Taj Boyd. Mm-hmm. But Nico Iamaleava can come in and be the Deshaun Watson. He's just a program changer. It's as simple as that. He is an elite quarterback who has the potential to lead Tennessee to a national championship. I mean, that is how good of a player he is. Now, obviously, you would need to recruit well around him. You need to protect him. You need to give him some weapons that he can throw the ball to, hand the ball off to. Again, you need protection up front. You got to secure the offensive line, and you do need to get the defense going by that point and try to play as complimentary football as you can. And I say as much as you can just because of the style of offense that Tennessee runs. But you can't have a defense that's giving up 35, 40 points a game, obviously. So I agree with you. There are a few players that you do this for, and Nico Iamaleava is absolutely one that you do this for.
For sure. 865-255-03. Taking a look at the text box, checking it out. According to a certain five-star quarterback who visited over the weekend, Tennessee's getting new uniforms next season. Have y'all heard that? Yeah, we kind of knew that Tennessee's getting new uniforms this upcoming season. I mean, remember the black uniforms that Tennessee wore twice this season? Those were from Pruitt's last season. The black uniforms were supposed to be worn a year prior, but because of COVID and some supply chain issues, Tennessee got it a year later. And it's the reason why Tennessee equipment staff had to be very, very creative with the helmet and instituting some black inside of the helmet to make it match the uniform, because the helmets did not arrive like they were supposed to because of those same COVID-related issues. Now, we ordered those uniforms, the new uniforms, so that way it's going to be here the next season, this upcoming season. So we fully aware that Tennessee is going to be having new uniforms. They'll have a new helmet to match those uniforms a lot better. We don't know what helmet color they're going to wear. It could be matte. It could be black. It could be gray. It could be chrome. We do not know. It appears that Tennessee is going to have maybe their own version of a smoky gray uniform. But Nico did not drop any nuggets that wasn't already out there. He didn't break any news.
It's not going to be a new home uniform, correct? It's still like a plan for
alternate, yeah.
A permanent. Would it be fair to say like kind of a permanent alternate uniform going forward, kind of like how Butch had the smoky grays?
I think it's fair to say that right now until we hear otherwise. But Heupel's going to have his own version of an alternate uniform. Butch had his own version. Pruitt tried to have his own version. Just
it didn't exist.
Yeah, it just didn't get here in time. But
and honestly, the only reason he did the black uniforms is because of everything that happened with George Floyd the summer of COVID and leading into the season. That was really the only reason he did the black jerseys, because if you remember, the initial plan was to wear them the Kentucky game that season and then auction them off to whatever cause that they were going to decide on here locally.
Yep.
So if that did not happen the summer going into that football season, then Tennessee probably never wears the black jerseys.
Correct.
Because as we talked about many times on the show, Coach Fulmer and Pruitt running the show, you're probably not going to see alternate uniforms.
For sure. Andy Mizuno Golfer says the Ziegler story should show his family the support you have at Tennessee. Yeah, no doubt. Almost $400,000 raised for the Ziegler family because of the house fire. And that was mentioned during the broadcast, Tom Hart and Jimmy Dykes. Man, how confident do you feel about the SEC tournament? This is a question I want to ask you, and then take a quick time out and get the answer on the other side. But a question for you, Ben, question for our listeners. Use the text box. You can give us a call at 865-255-03. Is it different? Is it a different feeling this year? Is it a different feeling this year? Tennessee, mentioned by Jimmy Dykes, is a legitimate Final Four contender, along with Arkansas too. And I think Tennessee, along with 3 other teams in the SEC, Auburn, Arkansas, and Kentucky, I think all 4 are legitimate Final Four contending teams. But you have the SEC tournament coming up in Tampa, Florida, for some reason. Like, there's a team in Tampa. There's only one team in Florida from in the SEC. It's not even Central. But anyways, whatever. SEC tournament this week. How confident? That is the question. How confident are you about the SEC tournament if you are a Tennessee fan? 865-255-03. We will get to that question when we come back from break. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
You don't say.
Fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400. Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the MN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you, so you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Time for Around the SEC. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. March the 7th. About a quarter till the top of the hour. It is time to take a look around the conference and see what happened over the weekend. And a lot has happened over the weekend, Ben. What do you have for us today?
Go with SEC basketball today and set the scene for the SEC tournament later this week that begins on Wednesday. Tennessee on Saturday got things going with a 78-74 win over Arkansas. LSU beat Alabama 80-77 in overtime. At the same time, Tennessee and Arkansas were playing. You had Auburn beat South Carolina 82-71 and win the SEC regular season title outright. Kentucky beat Florida 71-63 and probably eliminated any chance of Florida making the NCAA tournament. Missouri beat Georgia 79-69. Nice. Vanderbilt beat Ole Miss 63-61. And then Texas A&M beat Mississippi State 67-64. With Tennessee's win over Arkansas on Saturday, Tennessee secured the number 2 seed in the SEC. So Tennessee finishes second in the SEC this season. I don't consider that a failure. I think that is an accomplishment that Tennessee should be proud of, but also not dwell on it. Just kind of take note of it.
I mean, it's not the number one goal, Ben. I mean, the number one goal is to be a champion, right? To be number one in the conference. But you came in second, and it came down to the wire to a team that was number one for a good period of time in the country. I mean, and
you beat that team.
Yeah, you beat that team, and you're dealing with the one and done era, the transfer portal era, and to start the season, you had a lot of new guys on this roster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not sitting here and saying hang a banner,
right?
But
we do not believe in participation trophies here on the Swain Event, but that there's something to be said for finishing second in the best college basketball conference in the country. There's something to be said for that and be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
So Tennessee does lock up the 2 seed. Tennessee will play on Friday around 7 o'clock Eastern time. They will play the winner of Mississippi State and South Carolina. South Carolina, the 7 seed, Mississippi State, the 10 seed. And Tennessee is on Kentucky's side of the bracket. So if Tennessee and Kentucky handle business on Friday, they'll square off on Saturday. Auburn is the 1 seed. They'll face the winner of Florida, who is the 9 seed, and Texas A&M, who is the 8 seed. Arkansas is the 4 seed, and they'll face likely LSU, the 5 seed. And then Kentucky, as I mentioned a moment ago, is the 3 seed, and they'll likely, when I say likely, assuming chalk is what takes place, they'll face 6 seed Alabama. The 2 crap games on Wednesday is 13 seed Ole Miss versus 12 seed Missouri.
Ugh.
And then 14 seed Georgia. Tom Crean's last game as head coach of the Bulldogs against 11 seed
Vanderbilt.
And then so Vanderbilt would likely, assuming that they beat Georgia, they would play Alabama on Thursday and then Kentucky on Friday if they were to pull off an upset against Alabama.
Man, I'm going to watch it, but
I like Tennessee's bracket.
Georgia, Vandy. Ugh. I'll watch it anyways. Ole Miss, Missouri.
Yeah, I will too.
I'll watch it anyways. But like you just said, Tennessee, sitting in a nice spot because honestly, it didn't matter if Tennessee was like number 4 or number 1 or 2, 3. It doesn't really matter. If you're sitting number 1, you get the regular season championship. But as far as this tournament, you're going to have to play a tough team in the quarterfinals, a team that you can beat and a team that can beat you, because now it's on a neutral site floor for the season. What are these home teams? What, 28, 29-1? The top 4 rated teams, Auburn, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Arkansas. So you're not going into someone else's house and beating them, especially a top 4 seed. Now, this is totally different because it's not necessarily an away game. It's not a home game. It's a neutral site game. So I asked you, Ben, before the break, all right, what's the confidence level? How confident do you feel about the SEC tournament?
So. I don't have a lot of confidence, but I also have belief in Tennessee, if that makes sense. What worries me about this Tennessee team is that they didn't really win away from home this year. And not that a lot of teams did, especially the top 4 teams, but I truly believe, as we talked about so many times here on the show, that Thompson-Boling Arena kickstarted the game for Tennessee. Go back all the way to the Arizona game. And Tennessee jumped out on that run against Arizona. It happened in the LSU game. It happened in the Kentucky game. It happened in the Auburn game. It happened in the Arkansas game. It happened in every signature win that Tennessee played at home this year. And I truly believe that Tennessee was riding the energy and the momentum of the crowd to start the game. I truly believe that. And they're not going to have that this week or the rest of the season. So Tennessee is certainly capable of cutting down the nets in Tampa this weekend. And you also mentioned Jimmy Dykes mentioning that Tennessee is a Final Four caliber team. I do think they have that potential. I really do. I said that last week. I think that Tennessee has the potential to make it to the Final Four. I probably won't pick Tennessee to get to the Final Four, but I do think that they have that potential. I think that Elite 8, Sweet 16 is more likely because of the shooting issues. That worries me, and free throw issues as well. You have to make free throws in the tournament, or else you will lose a game at some point, and Tennessee has not been very successful at making free throws consistently. And for Kennedy Chandler, to me, it's all mental with him. I mean, he sits there and he goes 5 for 5 from 3 to start the game. And then he, in the middle of going 5 for 5 from 3 against a really good perimeter defense, he airballs a free throw and the other one wasn't even close.
Nope.
So that is a sign that it is all mental for Kennedy Chandler. And Rick Barnes and Kennedy talked about that after the game. And credit to Kennedy, he recognizes the importance of hitting free throws this time of year. I mean, he flat out said it, and he said that he's got to work through it. He's got to get it figured out. So hopefully he can do that. So I feel good about the SEC tournament this week, Swain, but I also don't have just all the confidence in the world just because Tennessee has looked far better at home than they have away from Thompson-Boling Arena, even on the neutral sites. I mean, they didn't shoot well against Texas Tech. Villanova ran them out of the building. North Carolina, that win looks better after North Carolina spoiled Coach K's night Saturday. But at the time, North Carolina wasn't a very good basketball team, and they did blow them out. You still give them credit to Tennessee, obviously.
17 points.
Yes, but it's not like they beat a Villanova or Texas Tech away from home is kind of my point. So I do have confidence. I just they kind of need to prove it to me that they can beat somebody legit away from Thompson-Boling Arena before I'm willing to go all in on the confidence with them.
I feel good. I feel confident in Tennessee's ability to shoot the basketball at this point of the season. I do like our guard play. The worry is something that you mentioned, that is free throws. Against Arkansas, our assist to turnover ratio was not great. It was not great at all. You had 17 assists, you had 17 turnovers. That is terrible. Shooting the basketball is what got Tennessee the big lead and ultimately allowed Tennessee to finish and win that game. But if you're Arkansas, you kind of feel good about how you fought in the second half, and if you're Tennessee, you don't feel good about what happened in the second half and how you kind of almost choked the game away. You had lemon booty, but free throws have to be addressed. The fact that they got to the free throw line 30 times, pretty damn good. Pretty dang good, man. That means you're attacking the basket. You're putting pressure on the defense. That's pretty good. And you're getting the inside to out action, getting open looks. So I like the fact that we're aggressive and we're getting to the free throw line. We just have to make them. And we have to take better care of the basketball and not have 17 turnovers when you do have 3 point guards in at once. That should never, ever happen. But I do feel comfortable in saying this, that I feel pretty good about the SEC tournament, man. I do. I think Tennessee's one of those teams that's trending up and playing better. I don't know if I would say the same thing about Arkansas. I think they are capable of beating us at neutral site, but I don't know if I would say they're playing as up or down at this point. They had a 9-game winning streak that was ended over the weekend. I am confident saying that Auburn is not playing their best. Kentucky is not playing as good as they did in the middle of the season. But all 3 of those teams are capable of beating Tennessee. Let me ask you this, though, Ben. Which team seeded between 5 and 14 do you think have the best chance of upsetting a top seed? So when you look at the SEC tournament bracket, you have Florida and Texas A&M, the 9 and 8 seed, and whoever wins that game will play against Auburn on Friday at noon. You have LSU waiting on the winner of Mizzou Ole Miss, and whoever wins that game between LSU and whoever wins between Mizzou Ole Miss will play Arkansas right after Auburn's game, and then Mississippi State, South Carolina. We play the winner of that game. Alabama plays the winner of Georgia, Vanderbilt, and then the winner of that game will play against Kentucky. So which team seated outside the top 4 do you think have the best chance of upsetting a top seed and making a little noise in the SEC tournament?
There's not one that I feel better about more than the other. We'll get that out of the way first. I don't think that there's one that I'm just terrified of if I'm a top 4 team. But if I had to pick one, it would be Georgia. No, I'm kidding. It would be Alabama, just because Alabama is capable of getting hot from 3 and just absolutely ruining your night. And when they get hot from 3, there's almost nothing you can do about it. And theoretically, they would play Kentucky on Friday. And they went to Rupp Arena a couple of weeks ago and kept it close until 3-4 minutes left in the game. So I would say Alabama, just because they can get hot from 3. And then the other one would be LSU, just because they do have talent on its roster, just hasn't necessarily played well all season.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alabama as well. I mean, LSU was able to run with Kentucky early in the season. Alabama has beaten Gonzaga this year. They've had some big wins. They've also had some ugly losses, but Alabama is capable of spoiling this thing for some teams. Look at Florida there at number 9, and they got to make a run. They want to get to the tournament, and they may be playing for Mike White's future. You know, I think Mike White deserves a 5-year extension. I think that would be awesome. Hour 2 is around the corner, 865-255-03. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 1 brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Stay with us. Be right back.
Just because you can't call in doesn't mean that you have to sit on the sideline. Impact the show with a text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm, let us help. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
It's time to get to some positivity this morning on the program. Attaboy is brought to you by Iris Networks, specializing in high-quality fiber internet and voice. irisnetworksusa.com. 90 days, no payment for business internet. All right, Ben, I'm going to give an attaboy to Velus Jones, who ran a nice time. I did that last week. Also, Alante Taylor had a nice 40 at the NFL Combine there in Indianapolis. Alante ran in the 4.3s as well. Super important for him. He ran a 4.36, had a vertical jump of 34.5 inches, a broad jump of 10 feet 8 inches. If you want to know if that is good, the answer is yes, that is good. He did not do his 3-cone drill, 20-yard shuttle, 40-yard shuttle. It appears he's going to do that at the pro day. He did not bench at all, so he did do a really good job on his timing there. Looking at some of the other guys, Matthew Butler, he had 17 reps at 225. I'm sure he's going to want to bench again at pro day and look to have more than that. Cade Mays, he did not bench at the combine. He will bench more than likely at the pro day. His on-field work is going to be big for him. He did weigh in at 311, 6'4", 3/4. But man, I'm just giving my attaboy to Alante Taylor for a nice 40 time at 4.36. And 2 guys, man, 4.3 speed. 4.3 speed. showing off at the NFL Combine. So, attaboy to those two gentlemen. Ben, what do you have over there if you have anything?
Yeah, I'm going to give Tennessee baseball some love for attaboy this morning, going 2-1 in a very impressive tournament that features some of the best college baseball programs in the country. Did fall to Texas 7-2 on Friday night. Just kind of some uncharacteristic mistakes by Tennessee. Really beat themselves. I do think Texas is better than Tennessee in general, but also hard not to be frustrated with that game, with the self-inflicted wounds that Tennessee had. Some early base running mistakes that kept some runs off the board. You had an error there in the sixth inning that would have kept it a one-run game. If you make the double play, then it's 2-1 Texas. And that next half inning, Tennessee tied the game, I believe, on an Evan Russell homer, if I'm not mistaken. No, that was in the fifth inning. In the seventh inning, Tennessee scored on a Cortland Lawson double that if you had not made the error at second and you turned the double play to get out of the inning, it would have been 2-2. And it's a much different feeling over those last couple of innings. So I thought Tennessee really beat itself against Texas. So that was frustrating to watch. But you do have to credit the performance of Chase Burns. And this 18-year-old, who is a true freshman, is just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I still can't believe that he made it to Tennessee and that he did not get drafted. But, hey, he did tell teams ahead of time that I'm going to Tennessee no matter what. So really cool that he decided to do that. But against the number one team in the country, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and only 2 hits allowed on 81 pitches, and probably could have gone back out there for the sixth inning. Probably should have gone back out there for the sixth inning. Tony Vitello wasn't really happy with himself following the game, that he did pull Chase Burns from that game. He told me afterwards that the game essentially, and I'm paraphrasing, the game essentially boiled down to me not riding Chase Burns. And you certainly understand why. True freshman, third career start. He's already at 81 pitches. It's early in the year. The Texas game isn't near as important as the games that Tennessee is going to play at the end of the year in the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. So you understand it, but also maybe could have gone out there for one more inning. So Chase Burns, I mean, he was phenomenal and gets a huge attaboy. And then on Saturday, Tennessee takes care of Baylor 10-5. And that one looked shaky there at the top of the first. Chase Dolander did not have his best stuff and allowed Baylor to take a 4-0 lead there in the first inning. And it was all self-inflicted once again. He hits the first batter of the game. That batter still second. And then he gave up a walk. And then Baylor stole 6 bases in the inning. And Tony Vitello alluded to that being more on the pitching, being more on Dolander. He never specifically mentioned Dolander or the pitcher, but he took up for Evan Russell afterwards, which in my opinion, and there were some other quotes in there as well that Tony shared with me that insinuated that it was because the pitcher was not giving Evan Russell any chance at throwing a runner out. And then later in the game, Baylor only tried to steal 1 base off of Kirby Connell, and Evan Russell threw him out. So that would also support Tony's argument there as well. But, Swain, it looked shaky there at the beginning of Saturday's game because you had just lost to Texas. Baylor goes up 4-0 in the top of the first, and then Tennessee did a really good job of bouncing back in the bottom of the first and scoring 4 runs there. Jarrell Ortega had an RBI double. Drew Gilbert had an RBI single. Trey Lipscomb had a sac fly to deep center. And then Luke Lipschius had an RBI ground out, and it was 4-4 all of a sudden, and Tennessee didn't really look back. They scored a run in the second. Jared Dickey, who had a terrific weekend, another one of Tennessee's freshmen that played really well this weekend, he had an RBI double in the third inning. Tennessee scored 4 runs. Evan Russell had a 2-run double. Christian Scott had a 2-run home run opposite field, and Tennessee goes on to win 10-5, and Kirby Connell deserves a lot of credit. Him and his mustache deserve a ton of credit because it was looking like Tennessee was really going to have to run through its bullpen on Saturday, but Kirby Connell came in and ate up 4.2 innings and gave up just one run. And that one run that he gave up was against the last batter he faced. And then yesterday was just kind of ho-hum for the Vols. Another true freshman on the mound, your guy, Drew Beam, who you interviewed on the locker room a couple of weeks ago. He was terrific on the bump. 5 innings, no runs allowed, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 2 hits given up, and 68 total pitches. And Tennessee did plenty of damage on offense, 8 runs on 11 hits. So tough loss, frustrating loss on Friday to Texas, but a great weekend overall for the Vols, as SEC play isn't this weekend, but next weekend.
Yes. To open up against South Carolina.
Cox.
Let's go. Man, Tony, I felt like was trying to protect his young ace, early in the season. I'd rather him do that than run a guy in the ground, knowing that he has a bright future. And I appreciate that from Tony. And I also appreciate him, publicly kind of criticizing himself. That tells you right there he's comfortable in his own skin, and we know that already. But that's just another sign. That's just another piece of evidence that tells you what type of person Tony Vitello is. Man, he's just comfortable in his own skin. He's okay with criticizing himself. Tennessee reminded me a little bit of last year's team. Man, get down, hit some adversity, not panic, and just find a way to win. And that's what Tennessee did against Baylor and then against Oklahoma. My goodness. Man, that felt like the 2015 game here, except for the baseball team actually finished the game, but just jumped on them and just never looked back.
For sure. And Oklahoma, a good college baseball program as a whole, but I think that they may struggle this year. They only had 3 hitters in their lineup that were impressive, and don't have very much pitching at all. I mean, Chaz Martinez, their lefty that they threw yesterday, was supposedly their best arm. And, I mean, Tennessee went to work on him, and he did not last very long whatsoever. I mean, Tennessee scored 5 runs off of him in the first 3 innings alone. And Tennessee had several hits all weekend long that were well hit, just kind of right at somebody. I mean, Jordan Beck, he hit probably 4 or 5 baseballs that would have been no doubt home runs at Lindsey Nelson Stadium or most college baseball stadiums. Mm-hmm. And in the big league park, they were just warning track outs. And Trey Lipscomb had a couple of those as well. The exact quote that Tony Vitello gave on Friday after the Chase Burns outing and debate on whether or not Tony should have pulled him when he did, I thought situational baseball, situational hitting was defined Tennessee's loss more than pulling Chase Burns when he did. And situational baseball is those high leverage situations in the game that determine who wins or loses. For instance, the double play that was not completed, that was poor situational baseball that ended up costing Tennessee in the long run. So that was my first question, because I thought the situational baseball and the situational hitting was more of the issue against Texas. And so that was my first question to Tony. And instead, Tony said a couple of words about that and then immediately went to the Chase Burns situation and said, I'll beat you to the punch. I think the root of what went on tonight is that Chase Burns was outstanding and I chose not to ride him, as I had paraphrased earlier. And I agree with you, Swain. I think it's really neat, I guess, or I appreciate that Tony is looking out for Chase Burns, because Chase Burns is going to make so much money in his career if he can stay healthy, because he is just an elite talent. I mean, he's the Nico of baseball. I mean, that's truly what he is. He is the Nico Iamaleava of baseball, with the hype, same level of hype within the baseball world and the same level of talent in their respective job, if you want to call it that, their respective craft, and he is living up to the hype. So I appreciate that Tony Vitello is being cautious with him to start the year, and he was at 86 pitches. So it's not like, or 81 pitches. It's not like he was at 68. I mean, you could make the case that he pulled Drew Beam early on Sunday than he should have, but Tennessee was leading, so nobody was thinking anything of it.
Yeah.
And also, if Camden Sewell comes in and shuts the door on Texas, then nobody's having that discussion about if Tony pulled Chase Burns too early. And I think that was the bigger question mark, is why bring in Camden Sewell, not why pull Chase Burns. And look, Camden Sewell, I love Camden Sewell. I'm the president of the Camden Sewell fan club. Anybody who has followed my coverage of all baseball the last several years is aware of this. But the reason I question bringing in Camden Sewell in that spot is because he had just pitched 52 innings. Lord, that's a lot of baseball. He should never pitch again.
I'm about to say, my goodness.
At this time, 52 pitches against ETSU on Tuesday. You really used him on Tuesday, and they weren't just 52 pitches. I mean, they were 52 pitches in a close ball game against ETSU on Tuesday, and then you immediately go to him out of the bullpen on Friday against the number one team in the country. And to me, he looked wore down. Tony Vitello added that he was working quicker than normal, and he thought that he was a little too juiced up in the moment. So I thought that was the bigger question mark, or the more questionable decision is bringing in Camden Sewell there as the first guy out of the bullpen over Chase Burns. Because if Camden Sewell goes in there, Swain, and shuts Texas down, and Texas doesn't have a big inning, nobody's questioning bringing out or pulling Chase Burns when he did.
865-255-03. I got a message from my baseball expert friend who says, Ben is right. Ben is right. Let's go to the phones. And the way it works today, because I am producing, Ben is in H-Town on his way back to Tennessee today, but unable to answer the phones live, on break and kind of screen the call. So don't know who's calling. So when you call, we put you in, I'll put you on air. Just tell us who you are and where you call it from, and that's how we will rock today during the Swain event. And Ben will be back tomorrow. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. Who do we have? Hello?
TC in Athens.
TC in Athens, baby. Yeah.
What's up?
Man, it's good to hear you. Where you been, man?
Man, I've just been working. Got to make that coin, brother.
I understand that. I thought you went to sleep in the Georgia arena because there was nobody there. I thought you had a tent pulled up and you just fell asleep, man. It was camping out and just forgot. I thought you just woke up.
Bro, is that not the saddest place you ever seen in your life?
Man, it looked pretty good to me. I loved it. But yeah, it did look sad for Georgia, athletics. That's why, and just like Georgia football, TC, like eventually they're gonna get it right? I mean, they got too many resources, too much talent in that state. They'll get it right.
They just don't care though, man.
I know.
And especially now in the day of the NIL deals, where you got to have boosters step up that put some money into it to get these kids there and stuff. And I mean, we all know it's kind of been that way before anyway, but I mean, that just shows you they just do not care about the sport whatsoever. They'd rather turn out for a women's gymnastics meet.
Yeah. We said the same thing about Alabama basketball, and they got serious, I guess. So hopefully it doesn't happen soon.
Yeah, I agree. They should have gone after Bruce Pearl back in the day before Auburn got him, but they didn't do that. But they just don't care. So, but anyway, that's not why I called today. What I called is Swain, I know you do camps and coach kids of football and all that, but I hear you talking about your basketball days and all that. Can you get with Kennedy Chandler and work with that boy on free throw shooting?
Man, that's all mental right there. That's all mental. I mean, his stroke is good enough to make 3-pointers and be 4 for 4, 5 for 5, but I just feel like he's,
what?
I feel like he's leaning too much. Tom Crean pointed him out, after the game, told him he was leaning to the left. I felt like he was leaning backwards. I thought his momentum was going backwards, which is why the shot was short. So,
well, you're talking about his stroke, but the whole thing is really, it's the entire routine. His routine is just odd when it comes to free throw shooting. He gets up there. It's usually, now he slowed it down a little bit. Earlier this season, it was ridiculously quick. I mean, it was like the ball would hit his hands and he was throwing it up. Like he had to do it, like a last second shot or something. He has slowed that down a little bit, but like he doesn't even look at the goal until right before he releases the ball. Like he's just kind of looking straight ahead. And then as he's coming up with the ball, then his eyes come up and see the – I mean, it's just the oddest free throw shooting routine I've ever seen. And bottom line is it ain't working.
Yep. I noticed that too, TC, and I was actually about to say the same thing, is he brings his eyes up towards the rim at the same time or at the very last second. And to me, that you would think that would throw off his line of vision or throw off something, and it seems to be thrown off a lot.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And, I mean, we got great coaches on that staff that I just don't understand. It makes zero sense to me that his routine is as poor as it is.
He's in a rush. I mean, early in the season, he mentioned the fact that he didn't stay in there. So he would shoot it and kind of lean back or try to exit the free throw line, and his shots were coming up short instead of keeping his feet still, finishing on his toes, and then holding his follow through. Like he wasn't doing that, and then he started doing it, and then he was a little bit better from the free throw line, and now he just rushes his routine. I mean, you have 10 seconds, so you have time. So last week against Georgia, he's leaning to the left. I thought Saturday he was kind of just. I thought he was lackadaisical and just not locked in. I thought from a technical standpoint, he was kind of leaning backwards a little bit, which is why the shot was short. Now I can talk shooting all day long. I can do that. So I mean, I got you there, TC. But that's mental. That's getting back to the drawing board. I think once they see the film, he sees the film, he's going to see those technical errors. I think he'll be able to fix it pretty easy. But this team's Achilles heel in the tournament will be free throw shooting.
Absolutely. If we get knocked out early, it's going to be because we couldn't shoot free throws.
And it's going to be so annoying.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, but man, I love this team. They're just so freaking fun to watch. I love Ball Nation, the way they step up for, our own and just awesome to see what's been going on. Hey, guys, I'm still around. I know I don't call in much, but I still love you, and I'll holler at you later. Have a good one.
My man, TC, good to hear from you, man. Good to see your growing daughters, 16 years old. I remember when they were little kids. TC bring them to the games. But, man, my kids are growing up. So that means everybody else's kids are growing up, too. Good to hear from you, TC. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all concentration there with Kennedy and just rushing his routine. A lot of guys have their eyes down at the ball. Kennedy's the guy who likes to spin the ball. Listen, your routine is your routine, and you got to do what's comfortable to you. I've never been a fan of spinning the ball, just because I just feel like, put your hands in the right place and just shoot it. I'm not a long routine guy. I'm like 1 to 2, maybe 3 dribbles and let it fly. I love Steph Curry's routine. It's just one dribble, put it up. But that's his routine. If it works for you, cool. But I've seen guys, have their eyes down at the ball during their routine, and their eyes go up right before they shoot it, and they're good free throw shooters. I've seen guys, lock in on the rim while dribbling the ball and shoot the ball, put the ball in the pocket, shoot it, and, shoot it very, very well. I was watching Emmanuel Quickly yesterday. The Knicks was playing the Clippers, and he's second leading free throw shooter in the league at 90% or 92%, something like that. But it's 1 2 dribbles, 1 2 maybe 3 dribbles. There's no spin of the basketball. He's just putting it up. So Steph doesn't spin the ball. He just puts it up. But if it works for you, it works for you, and you have to do what works for you. But I'm just not a fan of spinning the ball. That's my personal preference. It's not a technical error. It's not like Uro shooting free throws or someone who can't shoot. He can shoot them. It's just focus. So hopefully he's able to get that down because it's time to go, man. It is tournament time. It is officially tournament time. SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament Selection Sunday is a few days away as well. So good to hear from UTC. Big Orange 123 says he was 90% in high school. ZZ was also, I believe. Fox Vol says, I think Chandler needs to copy Dwayne Wade's stance and routine when shooting free throws. Chandler doesn't bend his knees enough, too. It's all arms. That's true. That's true. There's not much bend in the knees. There's not much, hip bend. That's where the power comes from, man, in your legs.
I do think the biggest issue is what you said at the beginning of TC's call. He's drifting back on the free throw line. He's been doing it all year.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
He's falling back as he's shooting. We talked about this weeks ago, and the whole eyesight thing, I'm kind of nitpicking. I do believe that can be an issue, and I recognize that the sports are different. But just when I pitched, Swain, if I looked at the catcher's mitt at the very last second, my command was not very good. It just was not. And again, I recognize it's different pitching a baseball, shooting a free throw. It's different, but I think the same logic still somewhat applies. And I think you have a hard time. You can get out of rhythm. You can get out of line, in my opinion, when you kind of take your eye off the target. And not saying that he just has to lock in at the, for 10 seconds at the rim while he's going through his routine. But to me, on top of the leaning back, I think that's the biggest issue, falling backwards as he is shooting. I do think that as he is kind of rushing and he looks up at the last second, I do think that's creating an issue as well. But I'm also not a basketball coach and don't teach shooting form and how to shoot free throws and whatnot. And I know for a fact Rick Barnes has said it publicly that they've gone back and looked at the film and they've talked with Kennedy about it. So hopefully they can get it figured out because it is all mental. And Kennedy said that this is the worst he's ever shot free throws in his life, as you or TC mentioned that or somebody in the text box said that he shot 90% in high school. And Kennedy said that exact thing after the game.
Yes, it's not one of those things where you could only fix it in the offseason. I mean, like Santiago Vescovi, his conditioning and agility, those were things that he fixed in the offseason because it took time. It took time of training. Well, with Kennedy, that's something he can fix today. I mean, he can fix that. It's probably already fixed. I mean, it's a quick fix. It's an easy fix. He'll see it on film, but he just needs to take his time and just stay true to his fundamentals and to his technique. I don't have a doubt that he's going to make those adjustments because we saw him make it once already this season when he was struggling, and then he fixed it and then was pretty efficient from the free throw line. But now he's kind of went backwards. So he can do it. He's shown he can do it. He just has to do it. Going to the text box, we got you for another 30 minutes, Ben. We got to get you on the airplane and back to Knoxville, man. Get you out of Houston.
Please.
Rodney says Chandler can't see. No, Chandler does wear his glasses now. You're right about that.
Maybe he needs that Jameis eye surgery.
He can see from 3-point line, so he can't be
Have you
that.
ever correct? You know why? Because he's not drifting back on a shot.
Yeah.
His 3-point shot looks pretty. And even on his 3-point shot, I mean, he on his regular jump shot, I mean, he doesn't use a lot of legs. It seems like it's more arms than it is rest of his body, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got some momentum though. Like while you're shooting those threes and jump shots, I mean, you're either catching it and shooting it, or you're off the dribble. There's still momentum free throw line, there's no momentum at all. You have to create it yourself, and you create it with your legs. And if you're not using your legs and bending that hip to generate some power, man, it's going to come up short, especially when you start getting to the second half and you're tired after going up and down the court a couple times without a whistle. You really have to focus on your legs and making sure that you get the ball over the front of the rim. Nelson from Jackson has a message, but we will get to that message. You know what? I'll read the message, then we'll take a break so people can marinate on it. How were we able to add the DB from Georgia Tech? I thought we couldn't add players until after spring. Well, Nelson, you know we covered this, Nelson. We covered this. We broke it down in detail, but we'll do it again for you, Nelson. We got you taken care of. And why Tennessee was able to bring in a transfer at a position of need. Ben will definitely agree to that. So we will take a quick time out here in hour number 2. Hour 2 is brought to you by Action 247. Use the promo code Swain Event. First time customers, first time making a deposit, and Action will match your first deposit 50% up to $800. That is $800. We will take a quick time out, and we will return. Hour 2 again is brought to you by Action 247. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
You don't say!
Fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. The new year is here and it's the 2022 East Tennessee real estate season. As I always do, I'm going to shoot straight with you. If you have a home to sell, then you need to give me a call ASAP. Inventory is low and I will get you the most money possible and more than you think trying to sell it on your own. If you are a seller that also needs to buy a home, you need to call me ASAP, as there are ways I can help you manage that situation and stay in your home until we find what you want. If you are looking to buy, you need to call me ASAP. You absolutely need someone on your side to help navigate the current waters, and you need someone that's going to do their homework and find homes that aren't on the market yet. Bottom line, you need to call me today ASAP. Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897. If you are buying, selling, or considering investing in real estate this year, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon, and go Vols!
I know missing the show live is a bummer, but don't fret. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Awesome!
question from the text box on your free Swain Event app for Android Apple devices from Nelson. My man Nelson in Jackson, Tennessee. In Tennessee now, getting busy in the transfer portal. How about that? I know Ben been saying we need to address defense. We need to address defense. Nelson from Jackson, his question before the break was, how were we able to add DB from Georgia Tech? I thought we could add players until the spring. Tennessee was able to bring in DB Wesley Walker, who is the stepbrother of Tyler Barron, went to Innsworth High School there in the mid-state. Will have 3 years of eligibility, but he transfers to Tennessee. And to answer Nelson's question, Tennessee always was able to add one or two during this stretch. When we discussed not being able to take a bunch of players like we saw South Carolina do, like we saw LSU do and continue to do, they brought in Jaden Daniels, the quarterback from Arizona State. The reason why we were not doing what those teams were doing, bringing in 5, 6, 7 players through the portal, was because of the numbers crunch. Remember, Tennessee self-imposed scholarship reductions over 3 years, but instead just did it all in one season because you already were below the numbers because of transfers from Pruitt to Heupel. So Tennessee was like, let's just go ahead and just take the L altogether in one season and then be able to recruit normally in year 2 moving forward, which was smart. And Tennessee was still able to go out, win 7 games with a chance to win 8 in the bowl game. So the way it works is the academic calendar year will end after the spring semester, which will be after spring football. So Tennessee will be able to add more after the spring semester once you have guys maybe deciding to transfer. There'll be more opportunities there. But Tennessee was always able to get maybe 1 or 2, which is why Tennessee was targeting Jared Verse, who went to Florida State, and then Isaiah Nayor, who went to Texas. So you didn't see Tennessee targeting 5, 6 guys in the portal. It was only like 1 or 2 here and there. So they still had that opportunity to add to their roster, and they did that with Wesley Walker. And you got to be careful because players are in the portal for a reason. Players are in the portal for a reason. So if you are Tennessee, look who you competing against. The Georgias and the Floridas and the South Carolinas and the Missouris. You play LSU. So you want to get players that can help you win those games, and you want to get players who are currently better than the players that you have. If you have a guy in the portal that you're looking at and he's not better than the player that you have, it's not worth it. But if he is better than the player that you have, I don't care if the player you have is a 7 and the player in the portal is a 7.5, take him. It's worth it. So that's why we was able to add a player at this point before spring football, Nelson. We was always able to add maybe 1 or 2. Did I cover that okay, Ben? Anything to add? Think we good? Be
there
there
in the spring, right?
Sorry about that. I had you muted. Say that again.
All good. I think you hit the nail on the head. The only thing I would add is that he's not going to be here until after the spring. So technically, that spot's not going to count until after the spring, after the academic year finishes. So that's, I assume, the other reason you're able to make this move is because you did have a spot or 2 available for this semester, which is why they were trying to go get Jared Verse, like you mentioned, the receiver that went to Texas that I've already deleted from my memory since he chose not to come to Tennessee. So you had a spot or 2 open that you could fill, but I mean, even this spot won't count until after the semester is over because he won't be here.
There
so
it is.
technically, this is going to be a number for next year.
There it is. Yep. Because you can't start classes right now. I'm saying in the middle of the semester. So, good point. Good point by you. So that's why, Nelson.
He's an intriguing prospect. The stepbrother of Tyler Barron, kind of played a bunch of different positions there at Georgia Tech. Wesley Walker did, and I thought it was interesting. If you look at his Twitter bio, he says defensive hybrid. But Tennessee is recruiting him to play the star position and potentially replace Theo Jackson. He has 3 years of eligibility left, and I'll be real curious to see what kind of impact he can make for Tennessee. 96 career tackles in 23 games, so he does have some experience and kind of played all over the field at Georgia Tech. But again, Tennessee is recruiting him to play that star position.
Oh, yeah, man. Versatility. That's what you want. He's the guy that played some corner in high school, played safety at Georgia Tech. And you're going to have to be able to cover anyways if you play in this conference, because they'll spread you out. They will put their best receiver in the slot to try to match him up against safeties who can't run as well. So if you are Tennessee, if you're any defensive staff, you want to go out and recruit guys who are versatile, that can play inside and out, that can tackle, that can cover. That's what you ideally want. It's hard to find those guys and find 5 or 6 of them that can do it on one team, but that's the plan. Like, that's the game plan.
Do you want me to bring any transfers back with me to Knoxville?
From Houston?
From the University of Houston. My hotel room, we're staying on the University of Houston's campus, and I'm right in the middle, and I can see into Houston's football stadium right now. I'm looking at their scoreboard and at their football stadium. Are there any Houston football players you would like for me to help move back to Knoxville as I come back this afternoon?
I don't know, man. I don't know if there's any good players in the portal from Houston.
I don't either. Who's the coach here? Major Applewhite now?
No, it's Dana Holgerson.
That's right, Dana Holgerson. That's right. The mullet. I have not seen the mullet while I've been here.
Yeah. So I mean,
but if I see any, I will pack them up with me and bring them back. A tackle or an edge rusher or a receiver. Surely they have one receiver that I could bring back with me.
That's it. That's what we need right there.
Speaking of receivers, Tennessee did pick up a commitment from a receiver yesterday for the class of 2023. Tennessee picked up 2 commitments yesterday, the transfer from Georgia Tech, and then they also picked up a high school commit from Nate Spillman, a 2023 receiver from Lipscomb Academy there in Nashville. His head coach being Trent Dilfer. And up at VolQuest, you can read all about what Tennessee is getting in Nate Spillman. Trent Dilfer said that he's the ultimate football player and teammate. They make very few like him. He's everything you are looking for as a coach. Nate is obviously very talented, but that's not what makes him so special. He's talented, but there's a lot of talented players who aren't winners. He's the total package, along with being long, athletic, and tough. He has good ball skills and is a very good route runner. To me, that's not the headline, though. The headline is that he's one of the toughest guys on the team. He's a leader on this team. He's probably the hardest worker on the team and does everything to help you win. You're looking for guys who not only will help increase your talent, but who also help develop a better winning culture. He's done that for us and will do that for Tennessee.
6'1.5", 194 in that range. When you look at the offer sheet and Ben?
Yes.
What a goal at? Where's the offers?
Yeah, I mean, this is not Carnell Tate that committed or Devin Hyatt, somebody who is ranked highly by the recruiting service or have a lot of offers. But Tennessee likes him. So I don't really have a take on him one way or the other. Honestly, somebody texted me yesterday and asked me what I thought about Nate Spillman, and I said, I don't know. It's my job to know who is committed, but it's not my job to be a receiver evaluator. That's not my area of expertise. I do know that Nate Spillman has grown on Tennessee over time, and maybe a year ago they did not feel comfortable taking his commitment, but I think that he has really improved over the last year or so, and Tennessee reached a point to where they really did want to bring him in. So that's about the only thing I have to offer.
Well, the way this stuff works, we know that is this is all commitments, all in contingent on how you grow and develop as a player throughout your last year. And if you don't get better, if you fall off, then a school will go the other direction. And that's certainly on the table here. What else is on the table is Tennessee saying, you know what, we see something in him that maybe other people don't see right now, and then he blows up, but you the one who saw it first and committed to him first, and he committed to you first, and boom, he gets here and never thinks one time about opening up his recruitment or his commitment to you wavering at all because you were early. So recruiting is fluid. Commitments are fluid, but got to be right. Got to be right. And
he also has a younger brother who is a 4-star linebacker.
Well, there it is.
The next class. Now, I don't think that's the sole reason that Tennessee is bringing in Nate Spillman. I truly don't. I went and watched him play against Knoxville Catholic earlier this year when Lipscomb Academy came to town, because Lipscomb Academy has several Tennessee targets, and Nate Spillman is always been a target on the receiver board. Just you never felt like he was at the very tip top of the board. That's been reserved for some other guys like a Cardinal Tate.
Mm-hmm.
But he made a terrific contested catch for a touchdown in the end zone. That was very impressive. That was kind of the one thing that stood out to me when I went and watched him play. And his younger brother, Edwin, the linebacker, I mean, he really stood out. I mean, that kid looks like he can really play. He was flying all around the field. If you're going to be an SEC player, then you should stand out in games. And his younger brother, Edwin, I mean, he actually absolutely stood out in that Catholic game. They also have a teammate, Caleb Beasley, who is a 2024 as well, a DB who is on the board as well, and Tennessee likes, and he's been to Tennessee a couple of times. So Lipscomb Academy may be becoming a pipeline for Tennessee under Trent Dilfer. Maybe
that's the plan. But
I always thought Trent Dilfer was better than Chris Winkie.
No, well, duh. I mean, our pipeline from Lipscomb will be better than the pipeline from IMG if Chris Winkie had anything to do with it. So don't have a hot take. I mean, don't have a take on the young man right now, other than offers look a little slim, and Tennessee understands that they can't miss. They can't miss, especially on a group that you are going to rely on so much. And it appears that Kelsey Pope is the guy, because we did see a recruit, tweet out his gratitude getting an offer from Kelsey Pope. So
you know what recruit that was?
Who was that?
Oh, you know what recruit that was?
Who was it, man?
Nico's teammate, Nico's receiver.
Hey, but what I say before we ended the show on Friday? What you got to do?
Offer him.
You better offer him.
Do whatever it takes.
You better offer that young man, and that's what Tennessee has done. So good, but it looks like Kelsey Pope is going to be the guy. Man, that means that Tennessee has put a premium on having someone that knows offensively what you're doing, and they feel like, recruiting wise, that if he's good at developing relationships and connecting with young people, if he has the work ethic, which that's a lot of it, is banging the phones and being used to being on the phones. I don't know if he's married, if he has any kids, but those single coaches, man, they got a lot more time to bang those phones and talk to the recruits. So if he can do that with the help,
Tony Vitello.
Yeah, if he can do that with the help of our resources that we have here at Tennessee, then he should be okay. But don't have a hot take really on Kelsey Pope. Honestly, you had an opportunity to go out and get some guys who are more proven at developing wide receivers that Tennessee looks like they chose not to go forward with. And I just hope that we're right, because, and I'm saying this on March the 7th, if we find ourselves with Alex Golish leaving to be a head coach somewhere, and if he takes Kelsey Pope with him, and Tennessee goes out and brings in a receiver coach who's not good, I'm lighting somebody up. I ain't gonna be happy about it, because
and that's certainly understandable.
Yeah. I ain't gonna be happy about it, but I understand why we're doing it. I really do. I think continuity is important. I think it's important. I think having your staff on the same page is important. And at this point of the spring, kind of hard to bring in a new receiver coach and just teaching him like you're teaching the freshman wide receiver. So I get that, but just understand that we've seen OC leave or DC leave and take people with them, and then the head coach be unable to kind of fill that void with the quality position coach. So hopefully that does not happen in the future. But I'm just talking about the future, what could happen, not that it's happening now or that it's going to happen, just saying that it could happen. And hopefully it does not.
I agree with you. I there will be frustration if it does not work out, Swain. But at this point in time, I understand the move just with where the calendar is at.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard to go hire a proven commodity.
Mm-hmm.
And I certainly understand, because of where we are in the calendar, on the calendar, just going ahead and bumping up Kelsey Pope.
Ben, you could have hired a proven commodity.
Is Dixon, that much of a proven commodity, though?
He's more proven than Kelsey Pope. You could have hired Trooper. You could have hired David Johnson.
Yes. Yeah. And I would love to know the reasoning as to why he still felt more comfortable promoting Kelsey Pope, if that is indeed what it turns out to be.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm, letting Josh Heupel off the hook too easily. But like I with where we are in the calendar and trusting somebody that's been within the offense, I don't mind giving them a shot, especially when all you hear is good things about Kelsey Pope in terms of the players really liking him and jiving well with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm willing to give Kelsey Pope a chance, because I think you hit the nail on the head a second ago in terms of if you work hard and you can relate to people, you're personable, then you should be pretty good at this job, at least in terms of recruiting. That doesn't equal success in terms of developing receivers. But again, maybe I'm letting Josh Heupel off the hook too easily. I don't mind giving him a chance. And then if it doesn't work out, then when you're back in a normal coaching carousel in terms of the calendar, you go hire somebody next January. Again, maybe I'm letting Heupel off the hook too easily. But if it doesn't work out, then so be it. You understood making the move at the time. And then now just go make a hire that you won't have to regret like you did with this one if it were to not work out.
Yeah, there's no reason for Heupel to necessarily, quote, be on the hook. And I'm not being critical or praising the move if it were to happen right now anyways. All I'm saying is what could happen, and if it does happen, let's not be blindsided. Let's go out and still get a quality coach. If Golish leaves and takes Pope with him, make sure that you're able to replace him. And I'm okay with Kelsey Pope moving in and being a receiver coach. Obviously, I had my pick or picks because I wanted guys that I knew could develop and I knew who could recruit. So why would I take somebody that I don't know can do those things? Well, Tennessee coaches feel like bringing in a coach at this point of the offseason be hard to do, man. You're trying to teach a new coach a system that these coaches have been working together on for the last 2, 3, 4 years together at Central Florida and one at Tennessee. So I 1,000% understand that. I do. And then with the NIL and Tennessee being an attractive place, I think you can make up for some, inexperience in recruiting. I think you can. So, I'm not against this move just because, my selection wasn't hired, because Kelsey Pope could be the next David Johnson. He could be the next Trooper Taylor. And we won't know that until he gets an opportunity. So I haven't met him before. I haven't met Cody Burns. I've heard good things about Kelsey Pope. And I hope he tears it up, man. I know the players are really, really excited about him being a receiver coach. 865-255-03. We knew the players were going to tell us. The recruits were going to tell us. Vaughn Birmingham says, I don't know about not being able to hire a proven commodity. Could have hired Trooper David Johnson. This was their choice over them. Yeah.
I want to know why Heupel chose not to. I don't know that I'll ever get that.
I think that's the reason, man. I think that at this point of this,
comfortable with Pope.
Man, at this point of the season, I mean, we're talking about March, the March 4th and 5th, trying to hire a receiver coach, and spring practice is 3 weeks away. I mean, I understand. I get it. I totally get it. But David Johnson is a proven recruiter and a proven developer. Proven. And it's hard for me to disagree with people who says, all right, well, the Kelsey Pope hire will be just a lazy hire. Well, I mean, maybe it is. But how do we know right now until we see the product on the field? It's an easy hire. We've crapped on Dabo for making a lazy hire, not going outside when guys left to go other jobs. But only time will tell. Only time will tell if Kelsey Pope is ready to roll. That's it. That is it. We cannot sit here and make a statement today as if it already happened. Because that's not fair to Kelsey Pope. That's not fair to Josh Heupel. It's just not fair. And I feel like we should be fair. Of course we wanted the splash hire. Every time there's an opening, we want splash hire. We want the name, right? Everybody wants that. But it's about the right fit. It's about the right fit. And hopefully Kelsey Pope is the right fit. All right, Riley Vall says, feel like the Nico visit looked great. Wonder if he plans to commit this month to any school. Well, the plan is for him to commit in May. I wonder if this weekend changes that. But man, Tennessee did everything they could possibly do. Everything, Ben. Tennessee put forth an A+ effort. And I think Tennessee's in a good spot right now. But there's a lot of time between now and when Nico Iamaleava is going to commit. Ben, let's get you on the plane, man. Back to God's country. Safe travels, my friend. Safe travels. Looking forward to seeing you here in a couple of hours.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. That was hour number 2. Hour 3 is around the corner. When we come back, we'll be joined by Jonathan Wade, former Tennessee DB, NFL DB, will join us talking NFL Combine, recruiting, all things Tennessee. Coming up.
Is coming up on the Swain Event.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy. If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Hope you are having a great Monday, because it is the best day of the week. Don't fight it. I know it's tough to recover from the weekend. It's Monday. But if you complain about it, if you dread it, even before the day starts, what kind of day you think you're going to have? You're already setting yourself up for failure. If you go into the day complaining and dreading it, and, oh, Mondays are the worst. You never know. Monday, you might get the biggest news of your life today. You might get that job promotion. Something may happen today that may change your life. And then Mondays will now be the best days. Be the best days of the week for you. Let's get to the Irish Networks hotline. Good morning. Who do we have with us?
This is D.R. Vol.
D.R. Vol, my man, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I don't know why anybody would be negative after this weekend. We got a big win, and Coach K lost his last game at home. Baseball won. It's just a great weekend to me, sports-wise.
The Duke players get it for what?
Did you see them giggling and laughing?
No, I did not see them giggling and laughing, but I did see them get beat by a team that they beat by almost 30 early in the season when they played them on the road. And it's Coach K's last home game. And y'all get beat like that?
But during his speech when he's scolding the crowd, which, I kind of enjoyed, honestly. But, yeah, they were sitting there giggling and laughing at each other.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, if you are North Carolina, man, you are eating it up because you spoiled Coach K's last game. I don't know if you saw like the end of the game, D.R. Vol, when they did the handshake line, but Chris Carrawell, who's a really good player for Duke back in the day, assistant coach, he walked right past Hubert Davis and didn't even give him a handshake. So I wonder what's going on there. That was a weird exchange, but there's no love lost between Duke and North Carolina. You just would have thought, at least on Coach K's last day, that there would be, more love between the two teams that hate each other, but I guess not.
Well, and, you talking about that, Swain, that Coach K didn't shake Davis's hand either. Did you see that?
No, I did not. I did not see that.
Yeah.
I thought he did.
Yeah. No, maybe it was an old video. Maybe it was from earlier this year, but I'm going to go back and find it, and I'll tweet it to you. But I'm almost positive that was from Saturday's game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can go find things with the best of. I need you to find out who killed Tupac and who shot Biggie. I need you to find that out because you can always go back in history and find out anything.
That's funny you said that. I watched a video this weekend saying about how they don't think Tupac's dead. So I'll work on that, though.
Okay, please work on that for me.
Guys, I'm trying not to set myself up for failure. I'm always ready to jump off that cliff. But I am really excited about this team, despite the fact we can't hit free throws. But we seem to be peaking at the right time, unlike that Grant and Admiral their last 2 years.
Yeah, I didn't want to say this earlier because I felt a little nervous saying it, but I think I'm going to say it now. I feel better about this year's team going into the SEC tournament than the 2018-2019 team.
Amen. I was hoping that was me just not being, overreacting. But I do feel really good about it, Swain.
Yeah.
Especially because we're on the side. We've got we'll get the winner of Kentucky and most likely Alabama, right?
Yeah. I think that's right. I had hold on. We get the winner of Mississippi State, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mississippi State, South Carolina. Friday at 6 p.m.
Again, so bad. I don't want them.
Alabama?
Yes.
Yeah, we need Alabama to, beat either Georgia or Vanderbilt, and then we need Alabama to beat Kentucky for us to meet Alabama in the semifinals. That's what will need to happen.
Alabama's the only SEC team we hadn't beat this year, and again, I'm never going to get over that game.
I understand.
That was our SEC championship, regular season championship.
You're right.
Guys, I'll hop off here with this. It does feel like we're getting ready for a magical run, and it kind of reminds me of that year that Loyola Chicago put us out. If we're that team this year, who would be our sister team? Would it be Coach Fulmer? And I'll hang up listen.
Oh, you terrible. Oh, you terrible. You terrible, D.R. Vol. As promised, joined now by Tennessee Vol, VFL, Jonathan Wade. Wade, man, good morning. We got Ben leaving the state of Texas. You are in the state of Texas. Man, good morning.
Wow. I get alerted when he's leaving.
He's in Houston. That's like another state from you.
You started with Texas.
Yeah, but he's in Houston. So, I mean, people think just because it's the same state that it's close. But nah, man. It ain't close at all. It might be. How far is Houston from you?
Like 3 hours.
Yeah, see, that ain't that bad. That ain't that bad. Y'all could have chopped it up, man. Y'all could have met.
Yeah, we could have.
You could have went to the baseball game.
I'm not really cool enough for your people, though.
I mean, if you was a real VFL, you would have made that trip to the baseball game. You would have supported the baseballs. Yo, we used to kick it with the baseballs back in the day, man. JP, Aaron Sebia, and
softball team. We went to the softball team one time. We watched them play in the playoffs because they've been good for a while. Not quite like the baseball team is good. The baseball team right now kicking ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think I saw a stat was like 30 home runs already in 11 games. It's just been.
They had scored 60. They scored 60 runs in a weekend thing last weekend.
Yeah, man. Against Iona, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what gets my attention, man, with baseball. I want to see them home runs, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's almost boring without that.
For sure.
Not that the pitching don't matter, but yeah, you want to see them numbers go up.
Yeah, I want to see them home runs. Yo, this is your time of the year, Wade. I mean,
yeah.
We got the NFL Combine, and last week, Ben and I was talking about the difference between the combine speed and football speed and the preparation that goes into learning how to run. Like guys like you knew how to run in middle school because you ran track all your life. So the combine was nothing for you. Like I remember you and I was doing our combine training together. Like I was really learning how to run a 40. You was just fine tuning everything that you had learned for years and years and years. And like a 4.3, I think you ran a 4.33, 4.34. Like you could have ran faster.
Yeah.
Like you could have ran in the high 4.2s if you wanted to. But it just wasn't a big deal for you. But for me, like I was over here sweating and praying and lighting candles, just hoping to be able to run a good time because, track speed wasn't my thing. I had football speed, but track just wasn't my thing. So give us the difference, man, for folks who may not understand. Alontae Taylor ran a 4.36.
He ran 4.36 the second time?
Yeah, he ran 4.36. Yeah, 4.36.
I saw the 4.4 flat, and it blew me away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I taped it. I recorded it. I stood up in my living room. I was geeked. I'm the biggest fan imaginable. But first off, the combine is where the natural athlete has his Super Bowl. Like the guy that can run and jump that may not have had the stats and the playing time all year, the combine is where it is his time to shine. Like this is where you get to see that guy that goes and runs a 4.3 that you didn't hear about, and you're like, oh snap, he's 6'1", he got all the measurables and all of that. So those people show up huge at the combine, and a lot of times those are the guys that also aren't gonna go into the combine press. I remember my year, Leon Hall, who was like the second corner taken after Darrell Revis. He ran a 4.39 at the combine, but it was, it was a technical thing, and it was everybody wanted to see what he was going to run in the 40. And I can just the pressure that those type, because the combine has nothing to do with the actual game.
Nope,
nothing. Like it's not football. You're doing drill. The combine is what every 7-on-7 kid needs to watch. Like this is the show for the combine because ain't no pads. You're not getting hit. Quarterbacks aren't dodging Aaron Donald. I want to see a quarterback actually dodge Aaron Donald to let me know if he can play for real.
Yeah, that should be one of your combine activities. Dodge Aaron Donald while he's holding knives.
Yeah, and then throw a spiral 40 yards downfield.
Exactly.
But
first round
it's
pick.
Not but right. But the jumping and I should have did more, but you're right. I wasn't being a natural athlete. I wasn't a natural football player like you. I was an athlete. So this is where all of those guys show up the most, the natural athletes.
It's like everybody was running 4.3s and 4.4s. It was a really fast.
I think the turf, they put some grass, different grass. There was some different turf, yeah.
Wait, it's not different.
Bro, it was different turf, different track, dog. It had to be.
Like this.
I'm hating.
I mean, if anybody should be hating, it should be me because I didn't run a fast time. I mean, like I was barely faster than Jordan Davis, who was 341 pounds from Georgia and ran a 4.8. Like, that ain't even fair. That's not right. But
4.7.
huh? They ran a 4.81.
4.7.
You saw 4.7?
4.7 this morning when I guess they came back with all the time. Yes, it's 4.8, 4.78 maybe. I think I may have said it.
4.78. 4.78 is not a 4.7. It's a 4.78. Wait, don't even try. I'm hating.
It's a 4.7 dog.
4.78.
Yeah, can you think of? Can you imagine him chasing down Patrick Mahomes when they showed you that he was actually faster? Like, your quarterback can't get away from that. That's impressive. That might have been the most impressive thing I saw this weekend.
Tell me what translates from the combine to the football field, because
broad jump.
That's the one event where it translates.
Absolutely. Broad jump is probably the most important one, I think, out of all of them. That shows your explosiveness. The broad jump shows what you can do. The combine itself is to show what you can't do, what you cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
The broad jump shows what you can. That's like it's a direct. It's power clean. It's everything that you got in your hips, all your explosive movements in one jump.
Yeah, I was thinking that, or the vertical. Usually when you have a good vertical and a good broad jump, usually your 40 reflects that, right? Because that's all explosion. That is telling the scouts that, you can come out of your hips when you need to on the line of scrimmage. You have a nice first step. You got a burst. You can explode. Like, you have that athleticism that they're looking for. I thought our guys did a good job, man. I mean,
I did too. Did you know, as a on the ground or in the as a local person, did you know Bayless was that fast?
Yes, I did not know he was going to run at 4.
I did not know that.
I knew he was football fast. I've been stumping for him to get the ball more ever since he got here on campus, but I knew he was football fast. I did not know he would be a 4.34, 4.3, 3.40 guy, because it's all technical, right? Didn't know what injuries he would be battling. Didn't know if he didn't slipped or decide to raise up too early on the start. Like, you just never know. It's all technical, man. Every step is scripted out. I forgot the number of steps. I think it's 17 and a half steps from start to finish on your 40.
Y'all know that?
I think it's 17 and a half.
That's awesome.
I think it's 17. But like, every step is scripted out. I just didn't know if he would pass that test. But I'm not surprised that he fast on the football field. I'm actually pretty. I'm probably more shocked that Alontae Taylor ran a 4.3, 4.36, 4.38.
At his size too. Does he? Did he ever? I don't remember him playing safety. They mentioned that a couple times when he ran, especially his first time. They said that he had the ability to move to safety. Do you see that on film?
I do, because he is a willing tackler, and I think from a hip fluidity standpoint, I think safety would be probably a better fit for him than corner at the next level, because you can't put hands on dudes like that.
Nope.
So Alontae's really good at that. I just think that he'd be better off playing safety, but that's just me, and we'll see what happens.
But with what he did, though, he opened up the opportunity for that. Some people don't come in with that, ability to switch back and forth. That's a good thing. The more value you have, the more you need it.
Yeah, you want to be versatile. So were you sitting back and watching every move with Nico Iamaleava?
Every move I could. Questioning every move, congratulating every move, wanting to add this the entire time.
I think,
but also concerned about the rest of them too. I wanted the rest of the kids to also feel like, I didn't want Nico to feel, and I know he's a huge deal, but I mean, there were 20 kids there, right?
There's more than that, but yeah, there's a lot of kids.
To feel that love. I hope they felt that love too. I hope it was a family type of vibe.
Oh, it was. Come on, man. You know how we get down. I need to move. You need to move?
I need to move out there. I needed to be there this weekend.
The G-Wagon posted up with the offense coordinator, the head coach, and the quarterback coach. The G-Wagon.
I want to know where that G-Wagon is right now. That exact G-Wagon. I want somebody to find a picture of that and send that to me. I want to see where that G-Wagon is at right now.
Well, if Nico comes to Tennessee, it might be his. Who knows, man?
It needs to be.
It needs to be his. I mean, I think NIL-wise,
houses to people, you know, and moving families. I mean, a car don't cost no house money. You gonna need one anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this is a quarterback. Quarterbacks have a higher demand than any other position on the field. It is what it is, and we've seen Kentucky freshmen, 5-star players come in and have a Porsche deal. So,
what?
Yes, yeah.
Kentucky quarterback came in with a Porsche deal.
No, a five-star Kentucky basketball player.
Basketball, well, bro, they had Escalades when we was in school.
Yeah.
Basketball has been good at this.
Yes.
They somehow can pull this off.
Shaden Sharp.
Shaden Sharp. I need to call Ron Slay, ask him about some of these basketball moves.
Slay will tell you.
Will he for real?
Oh, he'll tell you. Slay know how it gets down. He know how it works. Yeah, he knows exactly how it works.
When I got to Tennessee my freshman year, Slay, I felt like Slay was already in the NBA. He just was hanging out with us in college.
Brad wants to know who was faster, Wade or Meacham?
Me. Meacham stayed like the Georgia boys did and watched me run and was very upset that I ran faster. Like, he was upset.
You are faster. Meacham's speed is more impressive. Because somebody that big shouldn't be running that fast.
And no one's surprised to see me be fast either.
Yeah, like you were a national champion in track.
Yeah.
So honestly, you should have ran faster, Wade. You should have ran 14.
But I was suggested by my agent, told by my agent to gain weight, be closer to 200, more like a corner and run a 4.4. So that was the, and there's so much of that going on that people have no idea about. Like a lot of them guys weren't out there just regular because it's a job interview.
Yep.
I had to fight off the track stigmas. Like I don't want to do this. So I had to show up that was our game plan, to show up looking like a football player.
Yep. You're right. Could Velus be used like Deebo Samuel is? What you think?
Repeat the question.
Could Velus Jones be used like Deebo Samuel over there with the 49ers?
Is he that guy? That's a Deebo thing. Like Deebo is that's who that kid is. Like I don't.
What took you so long to respond? What are you thinking about?
Kenny, I don't.
You saw Velus Jones play this year. You saw Deebo Samuels play this year. I hope you saw him in South Carolina. Yo, them dudes are very similar. They're very similar.
Bro, do you know how big Deebo is?
He's a big boy. I do.
Yeah, Deebo's big. Deebo's not small like people think. Deebo 220. Velus 220.
I don't know if Velus is 220, but when I saw Velus in person during the football season, like Velus is thick.
Yeah, but so to me, Tyreek is too, for a little dude.
Yes. Yeah, Tyreek is like what 190?
Yeah, he's like 190. He's a thick little. He's not small. So I don't like Deebo's able to withstand beatings.
Velus ran through arm tackles.
That's putting a lot on Velus. Not that I don't like him or love him. That's just putting a lot on him. We're talking about the best person currently that can do that in football.
Let me stop you. Here's the comparison. The comparison is Velus Jones as a senior going into his rookie season in the NFL versus Deebo Samuel as a senior going into his rookie season. Like, there's no comparison comparing Velus today versus Deebo today because they're different, right? Because Deebo has been in the NFL. He's been a pro. But like, if you remember Debo at South Carolina, he reminds me so much of Velus Jones.
I get that now. Going back to the draft of yes, I see exactly what I'm looking at today Debo Samuel and what he's shown that he can. I guess that was unfair.
Yeah.
Yes, I said. Plus, he's faster. Velus is way faster.
Correct. And I can see Velus, similar to Debo, being used in more ways than just wide receiver. I can see that.
Do you see him being used in more ways like Tyreek though? He's 4.31. He's elite, top 10 in the NFL right now when he walks.
If you are a smart offensive coordinator, why would you not use him in more ways than just wide receiver? Like Cordell Patterson is used.
Tyreek gets used in more ways as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
They'll throw Tyreek in the backfield, but he's not Debo.
But that's why Shanahan's one of the best play callers. That's why Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid's one of the best play callers. And then Atlanta finally figured out how to use Cordell Patterson the right way this past season, and they had him all over the place. You can line Velus Jones up.
Way too long to figure out Cordell Patterson. That took way too long.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so happy that he was that he became an exceptional special team guy in the meantime. I am so happy for that kid for that. But for them not to be able to find a spot for him after the way he let Rocky Top, that is unbelievable to me. Almost Kelly Washington like.
Yeah, he was special, man. He was special. Vol Grizz Cub says, I ain't comparing the players, just saying being versatile. Yeah, like versatile, and you can make the comparison. Like, you really could. I mean, it's a pretty fair comparison. But yes, they are both versatile, Debo and Velus, and I would think that NFL team would use Velus in more areas than just wide receiver. DR Vol wants to create some drama with you, Wade. He wants to know.
Come on.
Huh?
Tell him to start tagging me in his stuff on Twitter.
You sure? He tweets like 100 tweets per hour.
Tell him to start tagging me in his stuff on Twitter.
DR Vol, tag Wade on your stuff on Twitter. I hope you got a phone battery and a charger, an extra phone battery. 'Cause you got that droid stuff going on over there, man.
Yeah, I do. We're good over here.
Yeah, whatever. You mess up every group chat ever. With that green bubble. DR Vol wants to know, Wade, who was your preferred quarterback at Tennessee? Oh, gosh.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
I saw 4.
Huh? 4?
I saw 4 quarterbacks at Tennessee.
Yeah. DR Vol wants to know who was your preferred quarterback. Boy,
that's tough for me.
That boy is quiet.
I feel like
that boy is
I feel
quiet.
like EA would have gave me the rock. I feel like EA would have gave me the rock if I was over there with y'all. I would have been able to talk EA into that. But I like Casey, maybe. Casey Clausen?
Maybe.
Yeah. Brent was exciting for like 4 games.
No. I ain't
Brett
messing.
Schaefer was exciting for.
He was excited, but I'm not messing with Schaefer.
I feel you. I'm just saying he was excited. I'm kind of going through the quarterbacks. My favorite one that I had, probably Casey.
I ain't come here to block. I would feel like Hollywood Brown on the Baltimore Ravens. Like, really? This is what y'all drafted me for? Come here, block. I came here to catch balls. And then you over there looking at Devontae Adams. You over there looking at Mike Evans. You looking at Cooper Kupp. Like, you over there looking at those guys with the boo-boo face. You all sad. Them dudes over there getting balls, man. You over here blocking for Lamar Jackson, man. Forget this. Trade me now.
Just running all type of curls and comebacks, and then turn around and find out the quarterback then took off 2 seconds ago.
Yes. and then don't let the quarterback run up your legs while you blocking for him. Don't let him read the block wrong and then run you over while you blocking for him. Yo.
Because this ain't what he naturally do.
Yeah, I'm out here blocking on the perimeter, and the quarterback is running up my legs. He can't even, read a cut. I will pull an Antonio Brown. I'll walk off.
Don't encourage the Antonio Brown move, dog.
Just walk off, man. Just walk off. This is not the offense for you. Not the offense for you. Just hit the transfer portal. Go somewhere else. But it's hard to go against Casey, man. I mean, I only had Casey for 1 year, but like it's not really close, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not during our time. The EA had a good year, and but
it's not.
He wasn't Casey.
It ain't close, man. And no offense to anybody else, but it's
no disrespect at all because he got drafted.
Yeah,
so,
Casey.
I mean, it's what Casey was for Tennessee at the time. He was like sunshine kid, California kid. He was perfect for what Tennessee needed. I mean, shoot, he had Tennessee number 2 in the country before they lost to LSU in 2001 in the SEC championship. They were number 2 in the country, and Miami was number 1.
Yep, that dude. That's Casey Clausen, man. That's Casey Clausen. He's just that guy.
Honest Casey. Who's going to rank second behind? It's probably like a question for me. Ask DR for all that, or whoever else can answer. What are the top 5 quarterbacks in Tennessee history? I know. Let's go top 4. Top 4 quarterbacks. Who's going to be after Peyton? Is there like a clear-cut answer?
We doing this? You doing this?
I'll probably do it today. I'm curious though. Like I've been. This one's tough for me. Running back's tough for me. Defensive line isn't tough. I've got like the fourth person is tough, I think. But like I can't. The quarterbacks is after Peyton. Where do we go next? Who's our next guy?
I'm not messing with you.
I'm trying to start some stuff.
Yeah. I want when you come up with your top 3 after Peyton, let me know. I want to see what you come up with. Tremel from chat says, "Man, Wade, I've been trying to holler at you about helping these kids track wise down here in my city. Swain, I need some stuff for this 7-on-7. I'm coaching as well." Tremel, you know what you got to do? You got to holler at somebody. You got to reach out. Wade is always on Twitter. Wade's tweeting like crazy. He's new to Twitter, so like it ain't big.
New people excitement.
Like yeah, you like Wade is getting he gets a new bike. He's riding it every single day. Like
yeah, for sure.
You super active on Twitter. I mean, I've been on Twitter since 2009. I mean, it's good, but I ain't like Wade on there. I ain't active like you. So Tremel, Wade's on Twitter. Hit him up. And then Tremel, you know how to find me. Any 7-on-7 advice I can give you, I got you. Somebody getting drafted over there? Wait.
No, I just pulled up Velas's highlights. I want to see his highlight reel. I want to see what you're talking about while we're talking. So I just turned the volume off so you couldn't hear that.
Yeah, he didn't do a good job turning the volume off.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying about Velas versatility?
Yeah. Okay, I see the Debo is.
Yes.
Debo. I see it.
Yeah.
They say too on the highlights. Anybody listening to this with kids or anybody that play ball, your first 3 plays need to matter on the highlight tape.
Yes, because most of the time, you ain't watching past first couple plays.
You might lose them after that if it's not popping. You got to gain and hold their attention in the first 3 plays.
100%. Let's go to the phones this morning. 865-255-03. Good morning. Who do we have?
God, you gotta love Mystery Caller Monday.
I love it, man. Especially when it's you. It's a nice surprise.
What's up, Swain? What's up, Wade?
What's happening?
Guys, I would think you would. My top 3 after Peyton, in no particular order, would have to be Condren. Hey, Condren, Schuler, and Dobbs.
Man, that's a good list.
It's the first list we've heard. That's why you hear the silence. It's no disrespect. It's just we gotta process this. I don't think anybody's thought about this. Like, who's the next greatest quarterback we've had since Peyton? Like, is it Heath? Is it Condren? Is Condren because of what he went through and being the first black quarterback in the SEC? Is that what we're looking at? Or are we looking at numbers? Like, I don't know. That's a tough one.
You're a big numbers guy when it comes to this list. I like looking at like how good they were, because like sometimes the numbers can can skew things. Like, is Cedric Tillman a top 5 receiver in Tennessee history? No, but the single season numbers suggest otherwise.
You guys told me that we couldn't just put, because Carl Pickens didn't have the most numbers, but I was told by all of you all that he had to be on it.
I told you better put Pickens on that list, or don't tag me in your tweet.
Correct.
I told you better put Carl Pickens on your list.
And Kent was more adamant about that.
Yeah, Kent, because I reached out to Joey about the top 4 or 5 wide receivers, and Joey was like, "Yo, Carl Pickens is on that list," and
that's coming from the guy who was number 1 on mine.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, is it numbers or is it talent? Like, this is a summer discussion, not a
after Peyton. Pick one quarterback to lead the Tennessee franchise. Who is it? Who is it?
You starting stuff, man. You starting stuff.
Hey, speaking of starting stuff, Wade, you gotta tell us the story about how Swain rolled up to campus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to hear this. I want to hear your point of view.
I'm trying to pick a scene that I want. I'm not gonna do Google me, Swain.
That's not how I rolled up to campus, though. I know,
so I'm not. But it is a part of it because that was within the first month. Your first month.
The first month.
The first month of you on campus is what was actually, because you lived up to it too.
How are you moving the goalposts?
You did what you did, but you also you lived up to it. You know, as a player that came in that was about his business, that was a big time recruit. You lived up to it the first month.
Go ahead. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Let me see. How do I want to tell this story? You know, I tell stories kind of cool. Okay. It would be equivalent to how Nico was in that truck. Swain pulled up in a car with like 20-inch rims, and he would park in the middle of the Gibbs parking lot away from everybody so no one could touch his car. His car would just be on display for the entire University of Tennessee Knoxville campus to drive by Gibbs dormitory and just see that Jason Swain was here.
Was he blasting 12s out of the trunk?
Huh?
I said, was he blasting 12s out of the trunk?
Did you have speakers in the car, Swain?
Yeah.
But everybody's blasting music because we're 18, 19-year-old kids. So he was just, but nobody had a Camaro on 20-inch rims.
Oh, dear Lord.
I didn't break any rules, by the way. I didn't break any rules.
Were you wearing? Hey! Were you wearing the white suit when you were in the Camaro?
No, I got the white suit when I was here. I got that white suit at like East Town Mall.
East Town Mall. We only had 2 malls. He told you exactly where he went to get the suit.
Yeah, but suits like that are not sold in West Town Mall.
They are now.
No.
Maybe not.
West Town Mall has an image to uphold.
Oh, I got you.
They're not selling Bishop Down Juan suits at West Town.
They gotta serve their community.
Yeah, man.
They gotta.
Yeah. East Town Mall.
You're not gonna get no throwback jerseys at West Town.
Nah, man. East Town Mall supplied the player hater ball on Dave Chappelle's show.
Hey guys, before I go, at least Clausen wouldn't have run to the goalpost. Simmons!
Y'all leave Casey alone.
No, he wouldn't. That wasn't about Casey.
I missed it.
He's talking about the LSU game when the quarterback hit the goalpost.
Ooh, don't do that.
Yeah, that's what Vollstrom's talking about.
We won that game. That's the only thing that matters out of that game.
That is correct. You know what, Wade? You took it easy on me, man. You could have said a whole lot of other stuff about how I arrived at Tennessee.
Yeah, I can't.
You didn't even see him pull up at first. It was Brandon Johnson, and I want to say Turk was outside of Gibbs standing outside their dorm, just hanging out on the rail. Those are the first two people I saw when I pulled up to Knoxville.
Word got out. You got to think about how Gibbs was at the time, and the parking lot was across the street. Once word, we always wondered, who car is that? Who is this?
Let's see.
And then you would see you get out, at 7, 8 o'clock, and then walk all the way across, because you would park in the middle of the empty parking lot.
So, didn't you do that with your first car?
I didn't have a car until I was a junior.
Hold on now. It's my turn. Did you not park like that when you got your first car as a pro athlete? Huh?
That's not the topic here. The topic is how Swain pulled up to Tennessee.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. You don't have short memory on how you used to pull up in your car as a professional athlete, because I remember.
Well, Jason, the standard had been set in 2003 when you came. When you showed up, the standard was reset.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
And if you didn't have a Google account, you was even more so behind Swain. We didn't even know what you were saying at first. We go get into that the next time we talk. We go do the Google me next time we talk.
What I say that? Was that at a bar or club?
Yes, dog, the entire night.
Was that after a game?
No.
It was during the off season?
It was just because you was there. This is the first month, dog.
Yeah, man. Because Swan put my head up, man. He put my head up.
Everybody knew Swain after the first month. You were present in Knoxville.
Had a lot of confidence.
Yeah, that's good. But you were supposed to coming out the way you did.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure these kids have to be 10 times worse now because they're actually getting money from people.
Boy. Riley Voss.
I wonder what the egos are like now. I wonder how hard it is to deal with some of them egos.
Worse, harder today. Because players are involved in the negotiations today. It's harder to coach players, which is why high school coaches across the country, college coaches across the country are retiring early. Riley Vol on text box says, "Hey Wade, this corner is crazy in the combine. Tariq Woolen, 4'2", 640, 40-inch vert, 6'4". You know this dude?"
I don't know him, but I'm a person that was sitting there in front of the TV this whole weekend watching every combine drill for the most part, and he stood up 6'4", and then I watched him take his first step off the 40 line, and I was like, oh snap! Yeah, he went 4'2", dog, at 6'4". That's crazy.
You saw his first step? How many yards did he cover on his first step?
At least 3.
Yeah.
And it was quick. It was explosive. It was like you knew he was going to run fast at that size because he'd already started covering ground.
Oh, yeah. He about to get paid.
He had a turnover.
Yeah, he about to get paid.
It was like Usain Bolt. He's 6'4", though. He's almost Usain Bolt size, and he got a turnover. Like, he's going to be tough. He'll play for 7 years.
The J. Way Stan account on the text box says, the Vols getting new uniforms next year. Nico dropping spoilers. Also, J. Way speaking nothing but facts this morning. Nico's mention of New Jerseys is not a spoiler. If you have listened to this show for a while, because remember, the black uniforms were late. They were late. They're supposed to be here last year for Pruitt's season, but they were late. And Tennessee got the jerseys, did not get the helmets that's supposed to come with it. And then, Max and Frage and Hawk over there at the equipment room, they had to get creative, and they put the black outline around the orange T on the white helmet to make it pop, because they didn't get the helmets because of the supply chain issues because of COVID. So Tennessee has ordered some jerseys for next year. They're supposed to be here on time. We hope that the helmets that match those jerseys are going to be here as well. But it's not a secret that Tennessee is going to drop a new alternate uniform next year. It's not a secret. But many people forgot. It's been a while since the season. It's been a while since we rolled out the black uniforms against South Carolina. But that's a refresher. No spoiler. But Nico, man, Nico feeling Tennessee. Wait.
You know, I don't want to speak this into existence, but I'm still, that receiver shook me up. Cause I was like all in on trying to get that receiver, and I was all in. Just truthfully, I was all in because he was the best available. Like he was the best available option in the transfer portal, I think. But this quarterback here is like a real thing. Like I feel like he's for us in Tennessee, he's a turning point. I feel like he could be a turning point for us. Like the kids are excited about him possibly coming. The kids that are, like, I don't remember being that excited about or that motivated about the teammates I was about to have coming to Tennessee in my class. Like, I mean, I wouldn't like, you know what I'm saying? I it was cool that we was all going there, but it seems like this group of kids wants him to come. Like they want to all be together. So I'm excited. I hope it work out. I know he got a lot of other options.
Yep. Yeah, it went really, really well, man. From all the reports that I got, it went really well. Tennessee did a great job, and there's probably nothing more that Tennessee could have done.
That's good.
Better than what they did. So it was a really, 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 really good job by Tennessee. Let's take a quick timeout break. And wait, man, you can go use the bathroom, get you a little sippy sip if you want to. For a few minutes here, we'll come back and finish up the show. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. Joined by Jonathan Wade, VFL. Be right back.
Shout out Baylor.
If you want to be part of the show, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503.
Hello?
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Jason Swain, Jonathan Wade, former Tennessee DB, VFL. Give Wade a follow on Twitter at Coach WVDE. The V in Wade is for Vol. Pretty catchy. Wade's a catchy guy. He's a catchy guy.
Ever since I tried, you know.
He's pretty creative, man. Pretty creative guy, man.
A lot of time, you know. A lot of time on my hands to kind of just think.
I mean, when you are an NFL vet and you retire from the league, man, you got time.
Yeah.
You got time to sit on Twitter all day and tweet top 4 lists at a place like Tennessee when there's hundreds of legends, and it's hard to put a top 4 list at any position. But hey, man,
yes,
you got all the time to try to figure it out. It's hard to do.
Joey Kent, Carl Pickens, Peerless Price. I don't remember my last person I had.
I got nothing for you. I do have a phone call, so let's get to our phone call. Good morning.
Good
morning,
fellas. Well, man.
What's going on, man? Good morning.
How y'all doing, man?
We good. How are you?
I'm good. Trying to get right on this Monday, man. Weekend was crazy. Football and baseball and everything going on. It was crazy.
Don't try to get right. Get right.
Well, it's
That's
crazy.
a lot of orange, man.
I got an issue. So I'm sure a lot of people deal with it. So my son's been playing baseball all their life.
Smart.
And baseball and track is at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of kids that's like that. And it's just weird because, you know what I'm saying, they happen to have to choose track over, you know what I'm saying, the sport they've been playing since they was 5 years old. And I don't know if I remember correctly, but I think it's always been that way in Tennessee. Is it different in other states? Like, do they do track in different seasons in other states? I really hadn't did much, like down in Texas, for instance, Wade. Do they do track like different season than they do baseball?
Track. Well, I'm from Louisiana, and so I kept up with Texas track when I was in high school. Now, let me preface my comment by saying this was 2001, 2002. So it's been a long time from there. My first track meet, me personally, my senior year, was January 5th. My last track meet was May 5th. I, too, am also someone who played baseball. Baseball, I don't even know if you know this, Swain. Baseball is what I did best. That was the most natural I was at a sport. But for me, it was tough for me because ADHD, like sitting in the outfield waiting. You know, seriously, I mean, I end up looking at the grass, or just. And baseball is one of those things where it takes like ultimate locked in focus, because of all of the moments that happen. Everything's a huge moment in baseball. Everything's a huge moment. So I had to. I was a freshman on our JV team, and I'm saying JV because we had one of those teams where you weren't in high school. You weren't going to play if you were a freshman. You weren't going to play on our varsity team in our sports program. But I ended up having to stop due to having to choose between baseball and track. Now, it wasn't that difficult of a choice because I was just like with baseball. But I had played baseball my entire life. I think it's always because it's in the spring and track covers. Because if you do indoor track, you're going to be running in January, February.
Right.
If you do outdoor track, the state championship isn't until May. This is baseball season. I don't know. It's a tough one.
So that's why I was, that's why I kind of was talking about the reaching out, to kind of kind of see what I can do to kind of help that situation. Because it's numerous kids, not just my boys, but there's numerous kids that I'm, involved with that want to run track, but they can't. So, they can, but they have to choose something that they love, Unlike me and you, I was the ADHD kid, too, that couldn't just sit in the field and just get so much in. It couldn't be still sitting on the bench like, hey, I need to be in the game, So it was an easy choice for me. My boys, they've been playing it, without running. Running was a part of we grew up running in the streets all night, all day. The street lights come on, what I'm saying? So, racing and running, trying to beat people in races was a part of our growing up. They don't do it as much. Me being around kids, they don't do it as much because I think they'd be like scared that they're going to get burned or whatever the situation might be. But, when we were kids, it was always like, let's see if you fast. Let me kick my shoes off. I can run faster with barefoot, what I'm saying, type stuff. So,
the work behind running isn't it's truthfully where I see a lot of people out here mess up is they get caught in the 7-on-7 versus track thing. And you're not going to be able to get the best out of track season half doing it. Like you're only going to get half better. So then you can't be mad because if I didn't split time, which is why my results, and again, God gave me an ability to be fast, but like I didn't split time. Like I didn't even Swain, I didn't split time in Knoxville. When it was track season, it was full track season. I was not a football player.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So those kids have to be prepared to commit to something. They got to commit to either baseball and not do. And you got to be at baseball practice every day. Both of those two sports require ultimate commitment. Or you're not going to get the result you're looking for, and then you turn around and you're a senior and you've been running track on and off, but you're running a 10.8. Like that's not going to be the 10.5 because you don't need to be 10.2. You go 10.6, you good.
Okay, so my question is this then: what would would it be good to do something that privately, like I guess throughout? I guess the year. I don't know. I don't know if there's a stoppage time where because I see track athletes always training, year round. Now they're not doing track stuff per se at, like running like that, but they're always training. Would I be correct in my assumption? Huh?
Track in college, those track guys start doing. Let me get out of college. My senior year in high school, I started training for track in December, the week after our state championship game. Like the baseball players, they never stop. Those baseball players are in batting cages year round.
Yeah, we in the cage all year round, man. I coach at 14 years, so we in the
year round. Like they're working on that stuff year round. But you're starting to notice that too with the commitment level to how hard people are working is what you kind of got to keep up with. Like if you got to stay on top of the work, and if you're getting outworked, you're not giving yourself a chance.
Of course. Well, I appreciate you fellas, man. I'm gonna reach out to y'all fellas, man. I appreciate the insight on that, man. That it does help. Y'all have a good day, and I appreciate you chopping it up with me.
Absolutely, Jamel. Good to hear from you, my friend. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday. My goodness, Wade, hours already kind of come and went.
My bad.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Man, I think we could probably do a 3-4 hour show on top of the show we just did, but we can't do that today. We can't do that today. So, man, big thanks to you, Wade, man, for jumping on, hopping on with us. And, man, appreciate it. We gotta get you to Knoxville, dude. This football season, this spring, whatever. Like, we gotta make it happen.
When's the spring game?
See, what had happened was it's not gonna be a spring game this year.
Awesome.
They are doing some things to the stadium, so probably not a spring game this year. But hey, that means this football season, where you can come out and check out the new renovations, and we can have a good time at the bar, the club area, the new addition to Neyland Stadium. How about that? Let's do that.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, my man Wade, I'm gonna hit you up a little bit later on today.
All right, bro. Appreciate y'all.
All right, one love, man. Appreciate you. Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue. That is our time for today. For Jonathan Wade, Ben McKee, who is currently at the airport, I'm Jason Swain. Hope y'all have a great rest of your morning and day. Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue. Peace and love. We are out.